Hey yo, Theo Dayo! That's my new intro. Welcome back to Narrations with me, Theo Dayo. Today I'm going to read a poem-ish. It's kind of a poem, but isn't at the same time. Uh, wait, did I mention who it was? The author? Okay, I'll mention it again. It's from my friend, written by my friend Ty. Here goes. What came to be was a love like that of his son, too close, too much, to people who had loved and lost in a world where they found each other. It was both a blessing and a curse. For when one fell, so would the other. It started with a simple greeting, white smiles and soft laughter. They met at his gallery, chit-chatting over one of the photos he took. She had been radiant, and he was unknowingly drawn at first sight, captivated by her locks of blonde hair and bright green eyes. "Why do you stare at this photo every day?" he would ask. As if the answer were obvious, she'd give him an almost amused smile, warming his heart with a sigh. "Because it makes me feel loved," she would say. Ever since then, she was all he saw. She was all his eyes would capture and all his dreams envisioned. He was so in love that one could call him blind, for in his mind she was the light in a world so dark. For in the truth in unspoken words, the inkling of hope when things go bad, and the genuine kindness in every act. To him, she was an angel, and to her, he was a son. What seemed to be a love so fond would become a love so toxic, because they loved too soon and too much. For months, they were happy together, living their days in joy and laughter in each other's company, seeing the light in each day as long as the other was there. But how long would this last, and what challenges would they face? Will they remain strong or crumble in one's embrace? What came would be the start of their delusion, the build of an unhealthy obsession, the beginning of what would be the end. For she was sick, oh so sick, sick in the mind and faint in the heart. Despite her telling him so, he refused to be apart. So they tried and desperately held on, days passing by in a quiet song. Then she'd been disillusioned, not better but worse. The world, as she said, was hers to save, was hers to change. People needed her, she'd screamed out, her lover merely shaking his head in disagreement. He'd argue back at the delusion, leaving her angered and frustrated, till her hands wound around his neck and black wrapped his vision. She'd blinded him in love, and in love he still was. She could break him apart, tear his limbs, and gouge his eyes. But his love wouldn't change, and his resolve wouldn't bend. Once realizing what she had done, she pulled back, tears streaming down her cheeks in remorse. "Oh, thee, my dearest thee," she would cry out, his arms reaching out to pull her in ties of hugs. "Rika," he would assure, a hand rubbing circles on her back. They knew what they had was beyond love and remained borderline obsession. However, They were all we ever wanted and wouldn't change what they had for the worst. Since then, Rika had vowed to go to rehab, slowly recovering what she had lost years ago, and V remained by her side, eagerly waiting for like the sun in the sky, he'd always be there. One day they'd be happy again, resting in their garden while watching the sunset, hands interlinked, matching rings shining in the light, for they would overcome their darkness and be each other's light. That was their love, too close, too much. Their love was like the sun in the sky, always there, even as days would come to the end. The sun would rise again, and so would they. The end.